Hello there, welcome to today's video. This one is all about the upcoming expansion pack for The Sims 4, Growing Together. I've compiled some articles, trailers, and some snippets of my own game to give you an overview of what we might be able to expect, and that includes the recent gameplay trailer, which was dropped just as I was nearly finished with this video, but I've spliced it in there. So this video is like one big exploration and speculation of the confirmed components of what was hoped to be the equivalent of Sims 3 Generations, but what is now seeming like more and less simultaneously. It's also hopefully something to tide us over before we can really see the game in action on the upcoming gameplay livestream. So let's get to it. Let's dive in and see what we can find and figure out about Growing Together. So first of all, we're just going to have a little squiz at the basic description that is on the EA official site here. We've got Sims 4 Growing Together, obviously. So this is just a reminder that if you buy the pack by the 27th of April, then you get these 3 items included. It's a little toddler slide here that's shaped like a whale. So if you don't have the toddler stuff pack, that could be a nice item to have. We've got the shielding from the elements baby carrier, and then of course another swing set, which is pretty cute. So let's get into this. They're just very basic descriptions here. A lasting impact. Key choices and milestones will help to shape who your Sims are. Unlock and change personality traits throughout your Sims' lives as they cope with midlife crisis, respond to family requests to move in, and more. So here I have what I assume is the being asked to move in thing. I like that Grandpa here's got an actual suitcase with him as well. So I'm wondering what on earth that actually entails, because obviously we can ask people to move in as is or just move them in. So is this a spontaneous request that can come up from relatives? Maybe the modern conundrum of inflation has infiltrated Sims land. Is this a permanent thing? Is this temporary? So that was my thought train originally. We have some extra information now in the gameplay trailer. So in the gameplay trailer, we get to see Grandpa Sebastian coming to stay. Now they state that this is a temporary stay and he's an uninvited guest. Here he is with his little suitcase there. So, temporary stay is seemingly a thing. Whether it is being asked to move in or not, I'm not sure, because this ain't moving in and he was not asked. But is it 2 separate things? Or is it the one thing? But I really like the idea of Sims being able to come and stay. That is definitely something that's been needed for a while, isn't it? And it's exciting. Yay! Self-discovery is a lifelong journey. And here we have a little picture of what appears to be some Sims at a park, near a park, you know. Hey, there's a water bottle here. That would be cool if you got to have that. Got some baby carrier action. Binoculars, bird watching. Is that actually going to be a thing? Yeah, okay. And then we've got the power walking, which we'll see later as well. So I'm just going to move on. Next, we have social dynamics. Sometimes Sims just click. Your Sim might have natural social chemistry with the Sim they meet at a party, or they might naturally clash. Your Sim will now have preferences that determine which Sims they are socially compatible with and which Sims are more likely to become their enemies. And then here we have a picture of a child learning to ride a bike, I imagine. This lady looks like she's about to go to the bathroom over here, but we'll move past that one swiftly. So I'm definitely got more to say about this, but we'll go into it after. Family ties. The bond between your related Sims are important and complex. Oh, we can only hope. As they experience life together, there will be opportunities for both drama and unity that will affect family dynamics and Sims relationships with their family members. So we've got the little picture here, which is this adorable treehouse. Now I think that there's a decent chance that this is going to be like the best physical activity that comes with the pack. And here we see an actual slide that children can go on, because I don't think there's been one before now. It is attached to the treehouse, but that's a good thing. Over here looks like a little sand pit. God, wouldn't it be great if there's actually a sand pit for your little kiddies to play in? That would be adorable. That's what it looks like anyway. So we've got, you know, the place to play. And it looks like Sims aged children and over at least will be able to take advantage of the treehouse there. I have always been a fan of this player's sea monster. It is quite ridiculous, delightfully so. But I did think it was a shame that only the kids could play on the pirate ship. So this family treehouse where everyone gets to play together, I'm liking the thought of that. And it also seems like, especially from, if you remember the trailer that we'll look at, that it actually gets built in a kit fashion, sort of like the rocket ship as well. So you get a little bit of, family togetherness building that treehouse. So here we are at the Growing Together trailer, and we're going to get a glimpse into the action we can expect that revolves around the tree house. So here we are, and we can see that yes, indeed, they do build it as a kit together as a family. And that's a pretty cute activity, isn't it? I think so. Here they are building the tree house, just hammering randomly at the tree as you do. Little bit of infant action, and there we go, and there is a tree house. This doesn't look as much like a sandpit in this because it's not lowered down, so I don't know what's going on there. Would have been wrong about that one. So we've got a slippery dip, we've got a toy, we've got a seat to sit on, we've got a telescope up here as well, we've got some fun alien themed imagery there, and we have this little ring-a-ding-ding bell as well, and some lights in the tree, which is cute. But we also have the main tree house here. Now, what do we think, everyone? Is this bad boy gonna be a rabbit hole? I think it will be. It'd be so cute if you could actually go inside and have your little sleeping bags in there and maybe like the Penguin TV and have a little sleep over there. But I highly doubt that's the case. I think it's going to be like the tents. The tent is what came to my mind when thinking about what the treehouse might be able to do. So I'm wondering if it might have things like this, like, relax, maybe play inside, maybe even woohoo, you never know. I don't know if they do that with a kiddie playhouse, but it's a family playhouse, so you never do know in The Sims. But in any case, I do think this treehouse is pretty cute. I like that there's different activities here. I like that it seems like you'll get more control over individual aspects of the treehouse and that Sims of different age groups can go in there too. And here it is, and then we get to see a bit of space playing action and sliding down the pole as well. So it looks like there'll be something that one of those imagination things for kids. Imagination things. You get what I mean? And there's the slippery dip. I really like that kids can now have a slippery dip. The look on the mum's face is priceless, isn't it? That's great. Good moment there. Good moment. So, perfect for families. Located along an ocean bay, San Sequoia was once a small fishing village and has grown into a bustling town. It features quiet suburbs, a lively rec centre, a tight-knit community. Oh, will we get messages like Henford-on-Bagley, I wonder? Have you met the locals in Henford-on-Bagley? It's a really close-knit community. Have you met the locals in Henford-on-Bagley? It's a really close-knit community. Well, yeah, someone just said that 2 seconds ago, but hey, have you met the locals in Henford-on-Bagley? It's a really close-knit community. Wow, I can't fathom where I've heard that one before. Seems like the locals here are actually a really close-knit community. So far as the rec centre goes, we know that it is a place where you can play puzzles and other sorts of games and hang out with family in the community. You can host events there like a slumber party or a baby shower. It's a new lot trait completely, so you can build it elsewhere too. So that's about all I know of the rec centre. What do I think? I'm not sure. I don't think it'll be the star of the pack by any means, put it that way. But I don't know all of its capabilities, so I'll just wait and see on that one. And even an influential local family, the Robles, I hope that's how you say it. It is until I know better. And here, of course, we have a picture of what appears to be the baby shower coming in the pack. And here we are at the baby shower. Is it normal for a baby shower to only have lady guests? Is that a thing in reality? I wouldn't think The Sims would go for that. In any case, from what we can gather from the picture, we'll get a baby shower, which includes giving gifts to the mother, which is cute. I wonder if that will happen at random, whether a Sim will just give your Sim a present. And we've got some what seems like confetti cannons here, and that's great, isn't it? There's some new styles of balloons going on. This one's got some twizzly little streamers down beneath. So I'm wondering we'll have probably, food, giving gifts, firing some confetti out of a cannon. It looks pretty cute from this anyway. We all know that they won't be gathered around like this, will they? Someone will be on the computer for sure. Someone else will be in the kitchen helping themselves to food, and someone else will be dancing somewhere else. Like the chances of the scene looking even remotely like this are very minuscule, but it could at least be cute and come together. I do like the idea of a baby shower, that's for sure. I think that'll definitely add something. Here it is in playing out. Get the gift, fire the cannon. Oh, hang on. Ooh. Let's watch those cannons go again, shall we? Okay, so it's just like confetti's coming out and some Twizzlers and stuff. I thought the cannons would have more of a boom. Like it's a little bit of cloud, but it's not really a big to-do, is it? It's a shame they're not like full of glitter or anything, but that's just my preference. So that's all they give you on their description for the actual purchasing of said pack at the moment. I should say pre-order, don't get too excited, just pre-order at this stage. So here we have a news article that is posted on the official EA Sims 4 page. And this gives us a bit more insight into Growing Together. It delves into things that they've already mentioned and mentions things that they haven't already mentioned. Yeah. So I'm just going to go over the things that I deem relevant. So here they reveal a few elements of San Sequoia itself, the new world that is coming with the pack. It is a bayfront town, perfect for families, obviously. Apparently packed with a ton of outdoor open space for gatherings and children to play. Now, of course, I know we're all hoping at this point to get another larger world again. Everyone wants a second Windenburg for size, but it does come with 3 neighborhoods. Anchor Point Wharf, Gilbert Gardens, and a relaxed residential locale, Hopewell Hills. Fun fact, the Michelsons actually live in Hopewell Hills. This is it here. Apparently that is a slower pace, and then it mentions that the style of things is craftsman style homes. Craftsman style homes. I don't know what a craftsman style home is, but it has them. So it goes on to describe the activities you can expect in the world, mentioning Urban Park, which is I think this picture here that we keep seeing up here, where you can walk in a group as we've seen in the picture and in the trailer. And here that is in action. I actually quite like that one, and you know why? Let's have a little rewind here. This walking group massively reminds me of the walking ladies in Better Call Saul. I wonder if any of these ladies have 2 cats named Oscar and Felix. Walk, 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 walk. Yeah. Learn to ride a bicycle, jog, or even hike on a nature path. There's also enjoying the views, playing on a playground, taking it slow, and fishing with the grandparents. So some of these aforementioned activities are nothing new, obviously. The group walking is, a child learning to ride a bike is, but we've got, jogging's been there since the dawn of time, and hiking is in 2 other packs. Enjoying the views. I don't know if that's a thing, whether they can actually literally enjoy the view or whether that's just a coin of a phrase. Play on a playground, yeah, playgrounds are good, not really new. They don't mention any new facilities. Take it slow. What on earth does that even mean? What, is it the game freezing again? Yeah. And go fishing with the grandparents. Now, originally I thought, well, fishing, that's not new. But it says with the grandparents. And then there's this picture that popped up recently of people playing a jigsaw puzzle. Is that even what you do? Do you even play a jigsaw puzzle? I don't know. But in any case, this here appears to have a fisherman's hat. So perhaps the grandparents going fishing is a thing. Maybe they can give advice and mentor. I'm hoping there's something like that, because otherwise, it's just regular fishing. But yeah. So let's move on to this next bit of what you can do in town. Watch a movie at Wharf's refurbished theatre. Now that's something else we see in the trailer. So this is presumably the theatre here. Now what are we thinking? My personal guess at this point is that this bad boy here is a wascally wabbit hole. The reason I think that is because we only see it from the outside in the trailer for 1, and for 2, the only new lot that we know of in the pack is the recreation centre. Now I could be wrong here, but I think it's going to be like the Sims 3 theatre. Now, if you feel disappointed if I happen to be right, which I hope I'm not, but there is always the workaround of making your own sort of theatre experience in-game if you have movie hangout stuff or even little campers. But the movie hangout stuff pack, the style of the movie projector has a bit more dignity, I would say, for when it comes to this purpose. Right here, I've personally got one at Glampster's Paradise, which is a national park. It's just a concept. It's badly done, Emma, because I'm not a builder, but we'll just go and have a look at the sort of thing we can already do. So you could of course use like a bar or a regular park or a generic lot or even the beach or something, depending on what you have. And of course you could deck it out far better than I have here. This is one of my older saves that I have not even touched in a while. So there's things I would certainly add to this now at a push, which I will actually. So you could obviously, if you're a decent builder or even if you're not, you could still make it look more like an actual cinema if that's your thing. The concept of this location was to be a public place Sims could go to do all sorts of camping activities, you know, without having to go to the national park or actually go on holiday. They could go spend a weekend here or something. So you can see there's the right facilities here just for that. Just a few things for them to do over here. And of course, the like public movie theater thing, whatever you want to call it here. And I've just added a popcorn machine and also an ice cream maker and a little drinks tray, but there's also a bar, as you can see. So, you know, you can just send your Sims in, just say they've gone glamping, as it were, in this instance, and they can watch the movies together, and you can we can do some Simda with the gang here. And you can obviously, there's a great many lots you can use, and there's a great many ways to have yourself a movie cinema already. So if you do have these packs, little campers or movie hangout, you know, we can already sort of do this. But yeah, my thoughts are at this point is probably going to be a rabbit hole, that theatre. Probably a rabbit hole down in front, lads. That is blocking the view. Yeah, that's what I like to do anyway. Let's have a little look at the scene here outside the theatre. Ah, the theatre. So yes, then it says grab a bite to eat along the pier. If I had to make a guess, I'd say that might be some of the food stalls that we sometimes get in packs, like City Living, for example. And it says library filled with children's books. Yeah, obviously a library, once again, is nothing new, but to get one that's, you know, geared towards children and pre-built, yeah, I'm not going to turn it away. And then we get to what actually might rival the treehouse for funness, depending on how it's done, of course, depending on how well it's done, how many activities or how intricate it is. But this is, of course, the splishing and a splashing at Whalebert's public splash pad play area. Whalebert. It looks really cute. I'm just hoping that it's fun. So here's none other than Whalebert's splash pad play park, whatever it's called. We've got some real color schemes going on here and a leafy motif and some, are they mushroomy motifs? I don't know. The one I've seen in reality had a mushroom motif, so maybe that's what I have in my head. But anyway, the real question is, will the actual gameplay for this be disappointing and vanilla, or will Whalebert manage to blowhole us away with his funness? That was bad. Well, time shall tell. But here's the little snippet we have. Oh, there was Whalebert there. There he is. Ha ha, he's got a toothy grin, hasn't he? So this is probably the most expansive shot we have. So what will it be? What will it be now? Hang on, what's this over here? Oh, I think this is the playground over here, maybe. Is this a rocket ship sort of, you know how there's that play jungle gym rocket ship thing and then maybe like the monkey bars here? But yes, there's Whalebert himself. There's a bowling ball thing. So yeah, what will they actually be able to do on it though? That's what I want to know. We'll find out. Now I have had this little sort of nagging thought in the back of my mind since I first saw the trailer for Growing Together, that so far as like actual new activities for our Sims to do go, there may be a little bit of a lacking in this pack. I mean, less than you know your old packs, less to actually physically do. Let's hope these other systems make up for it, or I'm just misinterpreting the amount of stuff there is to do. Let's hope that's the case, but that has been a concern of mine that I've had. So getting on to some of those other systems in the game, which seem to be quite a key feature of this pack. Not just stuff to do with families or life stages, but actual systems that enhance gameplay seem to be quite a focal point. So we've got this here about adding more depth in gameplay to the life stages. Now it's talking about infants up here, so I think it's referring to that. Among other stages and toddlers and children. The expansion pack will supposedly add more choice and opportunity for your growing Sims by bringing a Sim through new milestones. If there's one thing about this pack so far I'm having trouble wrapping my head around how it will play out, it's these milestones. I'll go into them more when they're mentioned again lower down. Now it also mentions a couple of things in the pack specifically for infants, and that is the changing station and infant playmate that we saw in the trailer for Growing Together. So here is the infant playmat right there, nom nom nom. And here is the infant change table, both exclusive to pack. And of course, as well as that, it also mentions carrying them on their backs, which as we know is the baby carriers. And now it goes on to talk about infant quirks. So quirks, right? So in Get Famous, we have things called quirks. I wonder if it's going to be anything at all like that. 3 quirks per infant, and each infant is bound to be unique, as long as you don't have lots of infants. Some quirks include self-soother, early riser, messy eater, frequently hiccups, gassy, good appetite, snuggly sleeper, happy spitter, free air tinkler, and more. Now I dare say that we might have ourselves a little free air tinkler right here. Oh dear, oh dear. She looks happy with herself though, doesn't she? So, they say they're discoverable. Will they be triggered like the get famous quirks are through behavior? We'll have to wait and see. There is more down here all about the family interactions. Okay, we're getting into the thick of it now. They say there's plenty of new ways to interact with all members of your family and lots of new content for different age groups. Okay, first we'll get to some content. Sims elders enjoy a good power walk, which we've seen around the park. Better Call Saul style. The puzzle at the recreation center. Now here we are, we have a demonstration of the jigsaw puzzle at the rec center here. And I'm assuming that this gentleman's reaction to not being able to find the right piece is included in the pack. I certainly hope it is. Let's have a little look here. Look, he gets all feisty. Can't find the right bit. Everyone has a laugh and he's not impressed. I wouldn't be either, because guess what, mate? You got to start that puzzle again now. Or his role as caretaker of the family keepsake box. I am quite interested to see the capabilities and function of a keepsake box. Like, do they put old photos in it or mementos or something? Can it be passed down through the generations of your family? Wouldn't that be cool? Apparently they can give life lessons as well, reminiscing on good times. That reminds me of nifty knitting reminiscing. So when they say able to reminisce, I'm wondering if that's with each other, to themselves, or to other Sims. We do have the capacity to somewhat reminisce here in the old rocking chair that comes with nifty knitting. I've always been a fan of that one. There we go, and it comes up with cute little pictures like that. Poor Audrey's been forced to reminisce in a blizzard for my purposes here. But I think that's really adorable, and I'm just wondering what it's going to mean in the pack. And sneaking treats. I've seen that somewhere too. There we go, I think that's it. Sometimes, though, they even have a favourite grandchild. Oh boy. Or other grandchildren. Time for your children to get a complex. So, it also mentions that toddlers have discoverable quirks as well that change their behaviour. When it says changing behaviour, that does definitely remind me of Get Famous. It also, to some extent, reminds me of parenthood, of course, because we've got phases that children and teens can go through in parenthood. So these quirks, making them unique beyond their traits, it says, include aggressive picky eater, which we have for the kiddies in parenthood, early riser, little singer, good appetite, loves water, hates bedtime, loves being carried, and more. And I'm pretty certain that this little lady here might be an aggressive toddler. Let's see her in action, shall we? And bam! It's all your fault, Mum. She thinks mums are big meanie. So yeah, I'm guessing quirks will be something like Get Famous quirks and or some conglomerate of parenthood phases. Speaking of kiddies, they're actually getting some new aspirations. Thank heavens. Current aspirations, they're worth doing because you get really good bonus traits. But once you've done them a few times, it gets a bit repetitive, doesn't it? So let's hope that these are a bit more fun to do. Like, obviously a slumber animal party should. A slumber animal party, whoops. Slumber party animal. That's bringing back the bear phase, isn't it? So far as a slumber party goes, this could just be them camping out in their lounge room for the fun of it. We do have this little ability here by the child to do the balloon and wake up his father. I wonder if that's something that you can do at the slumber party too. And here we have what appears to be like an actual kid's slumber party, although I don't think that's a kid. And we can see that there's pillow fights, compliments of high school years, some sleeping bags, probably some shenanigans, and there's some food here as well. So these are the type of things we can probably expect from a slumber party. Now you can have a slumber party at your house or at other locations as well. One I know for certain is the recreation center. Mind and body, playtime captain, and creative genius. I wonder if we'll get bonus traits with these as well. That would be great. And then it goes on to also say that this is the content for kids to do in the pack, which is the treehouse, the splash pad, the bike, sleeping bags, slumber parties, the sleeping bags, friendship bracelets, and more. That is cute, friendship bracelets. I like that idea. Oh yeah, here's another gem. Just make sure to keep their confidence high, or don't. But we know you'd never hurt a child's confidence, right? Because just like lost teeth, childhood confidence is also an aspect of growing up that every child sim faces in this pack. Oh boy, it's a bit triggering. Oh, hopefully the next game pack will be group therapy for your family after the favorites and the lost confidence of childhood and the midlife crisis. So lost teeth as well, since that's mentioned here. That's also in the trailer, and it's also seemingly not as big a deal as we originally thought when we got the toothberry as a mascot. So here we have the child losing the tooth. Now, for all the hoo-ha of the toothberry fairy and whatnot, it's very confusing as to how this is going to play out, whether there even is a tooth fairy or a toothberry, or whether it just happens like this animation we see here, them receiving the money. So let's have a little look here. Because this is a trailer, not the actual game, it's always a bit hard to tell. We can only just gauge from it. Let's have a look. Pulls out the toothies. Oh, and see what I mean? I don't know if this is what will happen. So they pull out the teeth maybe, and then they get the little tooth symbol above, and see how there's coins coming out there? Like, is that all she wrote? Because that will be a mite bit disappointing after all the bear and the fairy and stuff, if that's what happens, if there's no actual character that takes it, if it's just an imaginary thing. Because, we got Father Winter, we got the Spring Bunny, it's not like the tooth fairy is out of the question, is it? So I think it'll be a bit disappointing if that's actually how it plays out, if the money just manifests raining down upon this child. Pennies from, not exactly heaven, pennies from floating tooth. Doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? But let's just have a look as we move on here, because there's also, now look at this. This looks like the character here. Look, it's got the crown and everything, and it's got the wand. Now that looks like a tooth fairy, like a literal tooth fairy. And look at the rainbow. Where on earth is the bear? What's going on? And look, here it is here. It looks like it's an actual character. But is this a fictitious character like the Freezer Bunny, perhaps? But I mean, it's easily debunked by the child, because they're just there, and or is this just floating tooth here meant to represent the fairy? But where's the crown? Where's the face? You see, I'm a bit confused over this one. I'm a bit confused. Oh, look at this. This is cute. Little hands. That's irrelevant to this. But yeah, what is going on with that? I think we'll have to get our answers from the live stream. Look, it's a unicorn picture. So here we go. We've got milestones here through the experiences and relationships. So are we to then gather that their milestones are triggered by experiences and relationships? Maybe. Players will begin to encounter milestones, which will provide a way of showing players their Sims' current growth, as well as their lifelong touchstones that continue to impact them as they age. These include overcoming a career obstacle, getting let go from a job, having a midlife crisis. Yes, if only that played out well, that could be so much fun. If that's like an actual thing, like pop-ups of some sort telling you they're having a midlife crisis and you have to navigate your way through, or maybe depending on your actions, you get different sort of mini traits and it could impact them as they go along, perhaps. Just guessing, just guessing. Also, it mentions having the family move in and so much more. Fortunately, the gameplay trailer has swooped in and shed a little bit of light on my ponderings about milestones. So they're life-defining moments, as in reality, I guess. Now, what that actually means to a Sim's behavior, or whether anything else comes from it other than being close to people you shared them with, because that's a thing too. I'm not sure, but we have a little bit of a glimpse into milestones here. So, okay, so this is where it says throw in the many milestones, and we get these little pictures or symbols up here. I don't know if this is the milestone of them getting married or falling in love or becoming a couple or something. So yeah, milestones are shareable with other Sims too, it would seem. So we've got that one there. Oh, there we go. That's getting married, obviously. Having a baby. Oh, look. There's this Atlas when he was a baby. Like the little tooth there. Doesn't have any eyes or a nose. Oh, no. We get some more of these coming up when we see the former life of Sebastian here. How will they display this? Will it be in like the sort of like the notebook type thing? Not exactly the notebook, but something where you can look over your milestones. I'm wondering, where it's going to be displayed. But here we've got some love, some babies. Looks like some friendship as well. This is a massive side note here. Check out the dots. That's what I call them. And is that even stretch marks? Holy moly, I wonder if it is. That would be great. But look how many mole type dots we've got. There seems to be a lot more skin details going on, and I'm really all for that. This looks like perhaps a professional situation going on. Now, let's not read too much into this, but that massively looks like an ATM over there. Look at this. And this looks like the loss of job. So milestones can be shared or individual, it would seem, but how on earth do they actually affect the Sim's life? That is what I am super keen to find out. So Orion the infant gets some as well. I think this is some firsts. They mentioned infant milestones might be their firsts for a lot of it, like first bath, for example. First time they roll over, perhaps. First crawl, yeah. Look at the dummy. And first trying of certain foods as well. And here we go. So we know that losing a tooth is a milestone moment as well. And here's the little tooth fairy. Still don't know what happened to that bear. So the thing that perplexes me is when they say a midlife crisis is a milestone, like, doesn't a midlife crisis have to really play out? You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering about the details of milestones. Now, family dynamics. Like, there seems to be a lot of systems in place in this game, like an abundance comparatively to the norm. So it mentions again a social compatibility feature, the chemistry system. It sort of elaborates that this compatibility feature introduces new ways of socializing that will feel different with each sim, leading to deeper, more meaningful relationships with family and friends. Okay, now thanks to the new gameplay trailer, we get a little bit more of a grip on social compatibility. And this seems like it'll really bump up the relationships between sims, and it seems like a separate thing to the specific relationships of, say, jokesters or being close. But this will enhance it would seem. Now, it's been recently alluded to that the social compatibility will come about through the likes and dislikes system. And this seems to be confirmed in this trailer. So it says that the relationship between husband and wife has stood the test of time with a close relationship because of their compatibility. And when it talks about that, it brings up these, which is obviously likes and dislikes. So they share a love for, I don't know if it's music or the piano or something. Take note of this piano too, by the way. Pretty great, hey? And it continues on to show you some more. They obviously like painting. This could be a new one. Some sort of, is this loyalty or closeness or something like that? I'm not sure, but whatever it is, it's another one of their compatibility traits or compatibility likes. Oh, they've got good compatibility, they do. And then it says throw in the milestones as well. So the reason why these two have such a good relationship, and you put it all together, is that they have a close relationship, which is been set in family dynamics. They also have good compatibility, which seemingly comes about because of their likes and dislikes matching up. And then they've also shared a lot of milestones together. And here we get a taste of incompatibility between Sebastian and his son-in-law. And here we see the likes and dislikes not matching up. See, they're opposites there in their likes and dislikes, so just don't particularly like each other. Bad compatibility, bad. And there's a little bit more here. So these two who are jokesters together also share a love of comedy or a love of laughter. So they have a special relationship and good compatibility. So it says more specific family members can be jokesters together, or maybe they're competitive. But I like the idea of like a very specific relationship that is more detailed. And I assume that they'll get special, interactions with each other that they can only do with each other as well. So as your sim experiences life, there will be opportunities for both drama and unity that will ultimately affect family dynamics and your sim's relationships. Okay, so these family dynamics showed up in the gameplay trailer, and it shed a lot of light on what that actually entails. So family dynamics, like an umbrella statement, incorporating a whole family that consists of many different relationships between the different sims in the family. Now we're going to have a look at how that manifests now. So we have a new family dynamic tab here in the household relationships. And depending on the relationships with each other, different options shall appear. So here we have the wife and husband, and we're going to see the options that come down with that. So far as we know, these are the options for husband and wife, the family dynamic, distant jokesters, or close. It's a shame they don't have a hyper romantic one. Maybe the modders can help with that. But in any case, this is how this sort of thing is going to play out. So this is how you become a jokester or a distant spouse or a close one. Now this is quite exciting. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit in saying that because we don't know how much that will actually mean when it comes to playing the game, and that's what we really want to know. But at least having more specific relationships between just two individual sims, I mean, it sounds like a good thing, I'll put it that way. And here we see another sort of family dynamic between siblings, and we're going to see the options here for Atlas and Orion. There we go. So we've got difficult, jokesters, distant, and close. That's a nice selection there. The looks on their faces is great, isn't it? We're definitely going to get some trembling bottom lip action from little Orion here. Incidentally, Atlas and his grandpa Sebastian are jokesters together, and I think Atlas may just be the favorite grandchild too. Here they are in action. There we go. So yeah, it all sounds pretty interesting. I'm keen just to see. I'm keen to see. And we'll get to see that in the gameplay live stream coming in early March. And I'm going to be reserving my judgments until then because historically speaking, it's a pretty good indication of how a pack is going to be. Now, before I bid you farewell, I did want to just point out a few details that are seemingly missing in action. And that's why we're back here at the Michelson reunion. Now, this was the roadmap, and because it said the Michelson reunion with the, place and date, I definitely assumed that a family reunion would be an event that comes in the game, but there has been no mention of a reunion whatsoever. I mean, we do get to see Sebastian come visit his family, but that's hardly an actual reunion. The other thing is the vanishing infamous toothberry/molar bear, which has possibly been replaced by the toothiest tooth fairy you've ever seen. The other thing I'll say is a complete and utter absence of any mention of any new content for teens. And the last but definitely not least thing is the whole concept of updating the family tree. So in this article that we just finished exploring, it says here, a note for clarity from the Sims team, the Sims family tree is a functionality that already exists in game. In an earlier version of this article, this sentence stated that the family tree will reflect more complex family relationships. So this to me seems like a very polite way of saying that they were going to add a more complicated family tree, but now they are not. So yeah, make of it all what you will. I guess things change. But in any case, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a magnificent day or night wherever you are, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye!